Hello, my name is Neil, and today my group will be discussing the modern day tongs. So first, what are tongs? The word tong came from the Old English word tang, which means that which bites. So tongs are used as an extension of your hands in order to grab things that might be hot or that you don't want to put your hands on for sanitary purposes or for other reasons, so that you can move it from one place to another or flip it. We first have seen tongs used by Egyptians, where they put two metal rods together and to clamp a crucible, hot stone, to move it. But the first time we have a documented use of it is when Murray H. Franklin in 1952 filed a patent for his version of the tongs, which looks something like this. Here you can see that the tongs have two arms, a hinge at which the arms move about, and then two grippers. And here you can see that the grippers have little spikes in them in order to actually grip the material very well. But a year later, we see Meldrum Roy file a patent for a more kitchen-friendly utensil. That's the tongs that look very similar to the modern-day tongs. You see the hinge, the two arms, and the grippers. And here the grippers are flat and can just pick up an item without damaging it or puncturing it. But today, the modern day tongs are a little bit more advanced. So here we see that the grippers are a little bit more curved and have these rounded edges on them so that they can get a better grip on items such as a meat or a salad. And they have some concaveness to them right here. And then you have the two arms still, and then you have the hinge, and you also have a spring. This is the locking mechanism. And then you have a spring on the inside to shoot the tongs open when the pressure is released. Today, the tongs are used for a lot of different purposes, such as salad tongs, barbecue tongs, serving tongs, heat-resistant tongs, which blacksmith will use to pick up their metals, crucible tongs, which scientists will use in a laboratory setting to pick up crucibles and different test tubes. But all of them might have slightly different features, like different grippers or a different locking mechanism, or they might have rubber on it. So why wouldn't we just use our hands to grip and pick up things? They're perfectly fine to pick up things. I can pick up the tongs with my hands. And it's mostly because some things are just too hot to be picked up. Like a metal that's been in a fire for a very long time. You don't want to pick that up with your bare hands and just burn yourself. Or if you're serving food at a party, you don't want to just pick it up with your bare hand and serve it to someone, or pick up the salad with your bare hand and just start tossing it. I don't think people want to eat that salad anymore. But so then why don't we use like two spoons to mix a salad, or use chopsticks to mix a salad? So what's helpful about the tongs are those grippers. They have a larger surface area and a better way to grip everything. So they're designed to grip things, unlike spoons. Spoons, it would be hard to flip a meat, flip a steak on a grill. But the tongs are the perfect extension of your hand and have the perfect grip to do it.
Thank you, Neil, for a great introduction of modern tongs. My name is Jason, and I will be discussing the descriptions of the tongs. As Neil suggested, the tongs are essentially extensions of one's hand. The primary use is for grabbing food for safety or sanitary purposes, but in practice, a tongue can be used to grab anything. I will be going over the parts of tongues from the ring and the locking mechanism to the grip that grabs things. So here are two images that show the anatomy of the tongues. Firstly, the ring. The ring is a small silicone ring that's at the top of the tongue. The diameter is around 1 centimeter depending on the size of the tongs. It has a hollowed out center for you to hang in the kitchen. Attached to the ring is a pentagon-shaped stainless steel piece that has a sliding in and out option for the locking mechanism. The center is also hollowed out, with a hinge going through the two ends of the arms. As I flip over the tongs, the spring we can see is attached on the hinge with a force that constantly opens the arm if no pressure is applied to close the arms. The arms are made in stainless steel with a silicone handle for slippery-proof purposes. The silicone handles on both arms are detachable for my tongs for cleaning purposes. The arms and the grip of the tongs are around 3:2 in ratio of length. The entire dimension of my tongue is 275 millimeters long, 38 millimeters wide when closed, and 35 millimeters tall. The tongues can open up to 40 degrees. Last but not least, in the parts is a grip. The grip is a leaf-like silicone hand with a curved indent on the interior. The hands provide a sense of biomimicry design that studies from the shape of the shell, that allows good surface area for tension and adequate contact for grabbing. When you apply a good amount of force, you can see the hands almost closing like an elliptic curved seashell that touches on all its edges. The parts of the tongs are made in stainless steel that has a good resistance for corrosion, and the silicone hand is for safe contact with other cooking utensils, especially a really hot cooking pan. The silicone hand can take up to 230 degrees Celsius or 446 degrees Fahrenheit of heat. This is usually high enough for you to directly grab hot food out of your oven or pan without worrying about the silicone hands melting. And here are all the descriptions of the tongs. My peer Kevin will present you the user guide of it.
Okay, here comes the user guide for the tongs we discussed earlier. Now this is my tongs, and it is different from the objects used by my group mates, but it's still the same stuff, and I tried my best to make sure that it contains all the essential elements described previously. Now in the beginning, so depends on how you store this tongs before. Like some people just put it in the drawer, then you can just take it out. Some people tends to place it, hang it on the wall. Let's assume you hang it on the wall, so you take it off, and then now this is in a locked condition because of this small iron mechanism. Like you can't really separate the arms because it's locked. So first you need to separate the arms. Now you should hold the tongs like this, hold handles like this, and then apply a small pressure. Use your other hand to push down this small iron mechanism like this. And the arms are separated, and now you can use it normally. Let me do it again. So you hold it like this, apply a small pressure, and then you push this thing. The trick here is to apply a small pressure before you operate the iron tip. This is because it makes the process smoother and easier. Now the arms become separated. You can use it to clamp certain things. I got several things here to demonstrate the procedure. I got a broccoli, a piece of bread, and a shrimp. I'll use the bread as an example. So assume the bread is in the plate and use your other hand to hold the handles on the tongs, and then you approach the bread and to place the bread in the middle of the arms. After that, you apply pressure on the handle and then slowly you grab the bread like this. After you think that the grab is tight enough, you pick it up like in the air. Now for flat things such as bread, certainly you want to clamp it this way, like flatly. You don't want to do it this way, like even though like it is still possible to clamp the thing like this, but it's very unstable and it's very easy for the object to drop in this condition. So just grab it flatly. However, this doesn't really apply to shaped objects such as the broccoli. For the broccoli, you can really just clamp it any way you want, like this. Like this. So you are now picking up, like this is in the air, and you are trying to move it from one place to another place. So when you are holding the item, you need to keep applying the pressure on the handle so that the object doesn't fall off. Because if you release the pressure or you apply less pressure, the object will likely to slip and fall off, which is not so cool. Now, after you find the destination, you put the tongs in the air, and the bottom is the surface, and then you slowly release the pressure, and the object just automatically fall into the surface you want to put them. So after the usage and after the cleaning, you will want to store it. Some people you can just place it in your drawer and then take it out when you want to use it again. But you can also use the mechanism on the top to hang it on the wall. Basically, just do the process I mentioned in the beginning reversely. You apply the pressure and then you pull out this mechanism. After the hole come out, you can see the arms are locked and the volume of the object is reduced, so it takes less space compared to its original form. So yeah, keep in mind to apply the pressure before you pull out this metal organism, this metal part, because it makes the process smoother. And then you can just use this hole as a pivot point to hang this tongs on the wall, yeah, and store it. Okay, this is the end of the video, and I hope you learned something new today. It's unlikely because it's just a common spring-loaded tongs, and it's like most people have used it before. I actually learned something new about this because I never really know that this mechanism exists, like the lock mechanism. I didn't really know that this exists because I usually just put it in the drawer after I use it, and I never thought that you can actually lock the arms and put this on the wall. Yeah, that's something new I learned.